It starts with nothing more than a quick tap so fast you might not even notice it happened. No PIN, no swipe, no signature. Just a fleeting moment, and suddenly your money is gone. Across the country, reports are pouring in about a strange new scam that's catching even the most careful people off guard. Victims say they didn't hand over their card, they didn't enter their details, and they didn't approve any payment, yet their accounts were drained in minutes. This isn't the usual phishing email or phone call. It's faster. It's quieter. And once it happens, it's almost impossible to trace. The technology behind it isn't new, but the way criminals are using it has evolved into something far more dangerous. Every credit card, every debit card, and even contactless payment device could be a target, and you won't know until it's too late. In the next few moments, I'll reveal how it works and what you can do right now to protect yourself. Before we dive deeper into this critical information that could save your life savings, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is the kind of information you can't afford to miss, and I'm constantly updating my channel with the latest scam alerts and security tips that could protect you from becoming the next victim. Now, let me share something frightening. Just last month, Sarah, one of our viewers, lost $7,000 in a single day to ghost tapping. She never saw it coming. Her card never left her possession. The scary part? She's not alone. Thousands of people are falling victim to this sophisticated new scam, and many don't even realize it until it's too late. But what exactly is ghost tapping? Think of it as digital pickpocketing on steroids. Unlike traditional card skimming, where criminals need physical access to your card, ghost tapping allows scammers to capture your card information from several feet away. They can do this while you're shopping, dining at a restaurant, or even just walking down the street. The worst part? You won't feel a thing. The technology behind ghost tapping is surprisingly simple, yet devastatingly effective. Criminals are exploiting the same contactless payment technology that makes our lives more convenient. Remember those tap-to-pay features we all love? Well, scammers have found a way to hijack this technology using modified smartphones and specialized equipment that can be purchased for less than $100 on the dark web. Here's where it gets really scary. These devices can capture not just your card number, but also the CVV code and expiration date, everything a criminal needs to drain your account. And they can do it through your purse, pocket, or wallet. That's right, your cards are vulnerable even when they're safely tucked away. But you might be wondering, how is this different from regular card skimming? Well, traditional skimmers require physical contact with your card, usually at ATMs or gas pumps. Ghost tapping is completely contactless. The criminal could be standing behind you in line at the coffee shop, sitting next to you on the bus, or passing by you in a crowded mall. You'll never know your information was stolen until the fraudulent charges start appearing. Let me tell you about Mike, a cybersecurity expert I interviewed for this video. He's been tracking ghost tapping cases for the past year, and what he's discovered is alarming. The success rate of these attacks is nearly 90%, meaning if you're targeted, there's a very high chance your information will be compromised. The sophistication of these attacks is unprecedented, Mike told me. We're seeing organized crime rings using this technology to harvest hundreds of card details in a single day. They'll target busy areas, shopping centers, transit stations, sports events, anywhere people gather in large numbers. But here's what's even more concerning: the criminals aren't always using the stolen data immediately. They're patient. They collect the information and wait weeks, sometimes months, before starting to make purchases. This delay makes it harder for banks to trace the point of compromise and harder for victims to understand how their information was stolen. Think about your daily routine. How many times do you pass close to strangers? How many opportunities would a criminal have to capture your card information? The answer might shock you. In a typical day, most people are vulnerable to ghost tapping attacks dozens of times without realizing it. You might be asking yourself, but don't banks have security measures against this? Yes, they do. But here's the problem: the technology these criminals are using is evolving faster than the security measures designed to stop them. They're finding new ways to bypass encryption, exploit weaknesses in the payment systems, and even clone cards with the stolen data. Let's talk about how these criminals operate. They typically work in teams, with one person carrying the scanning device while others act as lookouts. They target busy locations where people are distracted: shopping malls, tourist attractions, public transportation. The scanner can be hidden in a bag or coat, making it virtually impossible to detect. The stolen card information is then either sold on the dark web or used to create clone cards. These cloned cards are used to make purchases or withdraw cash from ATMs, often in different cities or countries, to avoid detection. By the time the victim notices the fraudulent charges, the criminals are long gone. But here's something that might surprise you: the technology these criminals are using isn't particularly new. What's new is how they're combining different technologies and techniques to create a more effective scam. They're using modified near-field communication, NFC, readers, amplified antennas, and sophisticated data capture software, all packaged into innocent-looking devices. The question isn't just how they're doing it, it's why this scam is so successful. The answer lies in our increasing reliance on contactless payment methods. The COVID-19 pandemic accelerated this trend, with more people preferring tap-to-pay options over traditional card insertion or cash. This shift in consumer behavior has created more opportunities for criminals to exploit the technology. Let me share another real-world example. Janet, a retired teacher from Ohio, noticed strange transactions on her credit card statement. Small purchases at first, a few dollars here and there at gas stations and convenience stores. Then larger charges started appearing: electronics, gift cards, online purchases. In total, she lost over $12,000 before her bank flagged the suspicious activity. "I thought I was being careful," Janet told me. "I never lost my card, never shared my information online. I couldn't understand how this happened until I learned about ghost tapping. Now I realize it probably happened while I was shopping at the mall." But here's the most disturbing part: the criminals aren't just targeting individual consumers. They're also attacking small businesses, using ghost tapping devices to intercept payment information when customers pay at registers. This means your card could be compromised even when you're making a legitimate purchase at a trusted store. So, what can you do to protect yourself? This is where things get interesting. While there's no foolproof way to prevent ghost tapping, there are several effective countermeasures you can take. And no, you don't need to stop using your cards entirely or wrap them in tinfoil, though that's not entirely ineffective. First, let's talk about RFID blocking wallets and card holders. These products use special materials to create a protective shield around your cards, blocking unauthorized scanning attempts. But here's the catch: not all RFID blocking products are created equal. Some provide better protection than others, and some don't work at all. Another effective strategy is to regularly monitor your bank and credit card statements. Don't wait for your monthly statement. Check your accounts online or through banking apps at least several times a week. The sooner you spot suspicious activity, the better chance you have of stopping the criminals and recovering your money. Many banks now offer real-time transaction alerts. Enable these notifications on your phone. Yes, it might seem annoying to get an alert every time your card is used, but this immediate notification system could be the difference between catching fraud early and losing thousands of dollars. Here's something many people don't know: credit cards typically offer better fraud protection than debit cards. With credit cards, you're disputing charges made with the bank's money. With debit cards, your actual money is at stake, and it can take longer to get it back. Consider using credit cards for most purchases, especially in high-risk situations. But what constitutes a high-risk situation? Any crowded place where someone could get close to your cards without you noticing. This includes public transportation, shopping centers, sporting events, and tourist attractions. In these situations, consider keeping your cards in an RFID blocking holder or, better yet, only carry the cards you plan to use. Let's talk about some of the myths surrounding ghost tapping. Some people believe that having multiple cards in their wallet provides protection through interference. While this can make it harder for criminals to capture clean data, modern scanning devices can often isolate individual card signals. Others think that metallic cards are immune to ghost tapping. They're not. The technology behind ghost tapping is constantly evolving, and so are the methods criminals use to exploit it. Some recent cases have involved criminals using modified payment terminals in legitimate businesses. These compromised terminals capture card data while processing valid transactions. This means even careful consumers who only use their cards at reputable establishments could be at risk. Here's another troubling development. Some criminals are now using artificial intelligence to predict card security codes and expiration dates. By analyzing patterns in stolen card data, they can sometimes generate valid security information even when their initial scan doesn't capture it completely. But there's hope. Banks and card issuers are working on new security measures to combat ghost tapping. Some are experimenting with dynamic CVV codes that change periodically, while others are developing cards with built-in biometric authentication. However, these solutions are still in development and aren't widely available yet. In the meantime, awareness is your best defense. Understanding how ghost tapping works and knowing the signs of compromise can help you protect yourself and respond quickly if you do become a victim. Watch for small, unusual charges on your accounts. Criminals often test stolen card data with small purchases before making larger ones. Let me share some expert insights from Lisa, a fraud investigator I spoke with. She says the first 24 hours after card data is stolen are crucial. Many criminals will try to use the stolen information quickly, before the victim notices anything wrong. This is why real-time transaction alerts are so important. We're seeing a pattern where criminals make small purchases at gas stations or online retailers first, Lisa explained. If these charges go through, they quickly escalate to larger purchases. Some victims lose thousands of dollars in just a few hours. But what if you do become a victim? The steps you take in the first few hours can make a huge difference. First, immediately contact your bank or card issuer to report the fraud and get your card canceled. Then file a police report. This creates an official record of the crime and can help with insurance claims or fraud investigations. Document everything. Take screenshots of fraudulent transactions, save any relevant emails or receipts, and keep a log of who you spoke with at your bank and when. This information could be crucial if you need to dispute charges or file an insurance claim. Here's something many victims don't realize: you should also check your other accounts and cards, even if they haven't shown any suspicious activity yet. Criminals often steal multiple card details at once, and they might wait to use some of them. Looking ahead, the threat of ghost tapping isn't going away. If anything, it's likely to become more sophisticated as technology advances. But this doesn't mean we're helpless. By staying informed and taking proper precautions, we can significantly reduce our risk of becoming victims. Remember Sarah from the beginning of this video? After her experience, she became an advocate for payment security awareness. She now helps educate others about the risks of ghost tapping and other payment fraud schemes. Her story had a silver lining: she got most of her money back and learned valuable lessons about protecting her financial information. Before we wrap up, let's recap the most important points about protecting yourself from ghost tapping. Use RFID blocking products, monitor your accounts regularly, enable transaction alerts, and be especially careful in crowded places. Consider using credit cards instead of debit cards for better fraud protection, and don't hesitate to report suspicious activity to your bank immediately. The world of financial fraud is constantly evolving, and ghost tapping is just one of many threats we need to be aware of. But knowledge is power, and being informed is the first step to protecting yourself. If you found this information helpful, please hit that like button and share this video with your friends and family. Subscribe to my channel for more updates on the latest scams and how to protect yourself. Remember, your financial security is worth more than a few seconds it takes to implement these protective measures. Stay safe out there, and keep watching for more tips on protecting yourself from the latest scams and frauds. Drop your questions and experiences in the comments below. Let's create a community where we can all learn from each other and stay one step ahead of the criminals.